Back, everyone. So I was watching the latest salad update recently, and I thought to myself, let's stop and hit that record button. Hopefully, you will also enjoy the news that the salad team provide. A bit of a long one, but please watch along and see if you um, get some feedback that you maybe were looking for.
Um, so anyway, we had a customer come through and have 500 jobs open for which we're paying at high priority levels, which are significantly above what you get at batch or what's called lowest rate now, because they simply didn't mind paying that and wanted to make sure they had the GPUs. And it worked out very well for as long as it ran. They got fully fulfilled last I checked. I think all 500 jobs got assigned, which makes sense because when Salad detects a more profitable workload, it will assign that to you if it's still available and open and you meet the requirements. Anyway, those high priority jobs, they were for 40, if I remember correctly, 4090s, 4080s, and 4070 Ti Supers. It got filled out pretty quickly because they were high priority, so it's going to try to pull everyone onto that job, as many people as possible. And they ran for a day. We were told they were going to run for multiple days, but they took them down for some reason. We talked to them. I don't think we've encountered any problems, nor they have encountered any problems. Because they still have credit. Everything was working fine. So we'll see whenever they turn back on. We actually have a pretty high degree of confidence that this customer is going to run for that allotted amount of time that we're initially led to believe, because we have a contract signed and everything. So we're just waiting for them to turn it back on. They're not going to last forever. They want to do many jobs with us, but each job is a batch job. It could last hours or days, if they're lucky, a week, but these aren't just continuous jobs. That is how we have an inbuilt mechanism for you to earn more on Salad than the lowest rates. The next thing that is on the docket, when we're able to, is getting minimum earning controls so that you can set what is actually acceptable to you. Like, let me get back to the 5090s. We've had a lot of people ask for 5090s. I've had several people who've been testing on 5090s who said they wanted 100 of them. Akilesh, don't worry, we will talk about Gollum as well, and 195. But we simply haven't. They haven't finished testing. They haven't been able to get their full production workloads ported over to Salad. So until then, there just aren't jobs right now, right there. I think the 5090 is going to see a good year this year, just based on the amount of early conversations I've been having where 5090s have been the only thing that they were considering, right? I don't know when that's going to happen, right? So we can't predict when people are actually going to convert, right? And when people are actually going to bring their full production on. I've been trying my best to really push people along and do everything I can to get them active and get their real full workload in, but ultimately it's not in my hands. But yeah, there has been interest in the 5090 for a lot of, especially for some of the LLMs. It has that 32 gigabytes of VRAM, which is nice because bigger models need more VRAM in order to properly run, to run it all. So I think the 5090 is going to continue to grow, which ties into a topic that we have today related to LLMs on Salad. But I do see some questions in the chat and some comments that we can hit.
Let's see. When will people start saying no to the 4090?
I don't know, dude. The 40 series, the late 40 series, 4070 onwards to 4090, it's still bestsellers on Salad. I don't know when that's going to change, and I couldn't tell you. It is the 4090s right now, I think it's the second most popular card on Salad, which is crazy to me. Back in the day, we had like none of them on Salad whatsoever. But it's also the most utilized card on Salad in terms of like percentage utilization over time. Hopefully it lasts forever, right? Yeah, Mac Winnie is saying never. I hope it lasts forever, but technology changes. If it makes you feel better, somebody was just asking me about running on 10 series cards. So there might be a use case for a very long time for the 4090. So we shall see, but I'm not the right person to ask that. I just tell you what's actually happening. I'm not good about predicting the future at all. But thank you for the question, Mage Man Bro. I think I would like to go through just a couple more things because any chef focused things that are a priority right now? What is Salad's top priority currently? Well, our top priority currently is fixing the app. Actually, we are trying to get it a stable version of Salad ready to go and released. That includes all of the new features for customers and improvements for stability for you guys. That's the big thing. We had some pretty huge features like scheduled scaling, which allows people to schedule when they want to scale up and down with the amount of nodes they're requesting. With with SSH was going to be available, and then there's a few other things as well that were going to be huge for customers. Could have potentially allowed us to get additional customers, or new customers, or grow current customers. So that's our biggest focus. In terms of like roadmap and outside of that, I do think we're going to get a little extra treat for the kitchen. I've got somebody who's running an experiment for the cloud, which just so happens to give us an opportunity to build something for the kitchen as part of that experiment. In fact, this is a great place to ask too. Long story short, we have figured out how to get lots of agents running on Salad, sub-agents mainly, not your main orchestrator, but many sub-agents running on Salad for very, very cheap and continuously with no token or rate limits. And we wanted to demonstrate some of the cool stuff that you can do with all of those agents on Salad, running all the time, constantly iterating. So we are going to build something. An engineer came to me who's going to make this case study and piece of content, which we're going to go use to try to get more customers, and said, hey, we might as well build something that the chefs want while we're at it. What is the top requested, features that they want? I said that what I thought would be likely for him to be able to accomplish with agents, because you can't deeply interact, or it takes a lot to make them deeply interact with your code base. I said a mobile app with remote stop and starting and restarting, as well as remote ability to redeem from the storefront, has been asked for and is probably capable of being made by the agents. But guys, if you have ideas too, please let me know. I don't know if they're all technically capable or feasible, rather, to be done by agents, but this army of agents set up. But nonetheless, we're going to try, and we'd love to make you happy. But those are the priorities. The other priorities are always just getting more customers and improving Salad for our customers so that we can increase the amount of jobs that you guys are getting. But thank you for the question, Mac Winnie.
Linus will never come.
Let's be serious. Linux, I assume. Actually, I'm contacting several people for the initial test of the Linux build for chefs, not just for data centers. I have talked to a few people, and I'm finding who will be the best candidate to be able to help us work closely with us and get us the kind of testing and information that we need. But we're getting much closer. It's something that's still being worked on. Obviously, we need to fix the app when things break for you and for customers. Fires always take priority. But in the background, there's someone tinkering and working on things like the Linux build and testing. I think next week I should be able to actually get real testing started. So we'll see how it goes. But it's not paralyzed. It's not snake bit and standing there with its eyes dazed and its mouth foaming. There is movement. It is crawling along.
Please bring more CPU jobs.
CPU jobs? Who's asking for CPU jobs?
Sam.
Those don't make any money. Those make no money. Yeah, until CPU jobs can be stacked on top of a GPU job, which I don't know if that'll ever be the case. We were thinking that we could perhaps stack in the future, but I don't. We shouldn't be cheering for more CPU jobs, is all I'm saying. We want GPU jobs. CPU jobs just they don't pay very much at all. It depends on what you have, right? Like if you're currently 4.5 cents per hour, ones that last for days, CPU jobs. Dang, dude, I have not seen that. Hold on, I have to sneeze.
Bless.
Thank you. 4.5 cents per hour is great for a CPU job. I've never seen anything that high. I don't know, Milan. You just popped back in. Have you seen it? I know we do this all the time when we go into people's support pages. We look at the workloads that they're getting. Have we ever seen a CPU job paying at that rate per hour?
I mean, it could. If there is a lot of CPU cores and a lot of RAM requested, it could. And maybe there's also some parallelism with SGS workloads that could have been at play.
Okay. Hey, cherish those. Cherish those. If those are the CPU jobs you guys are talking about, then yes. What we want is more of those CPU jobs. I'm used to CPU jobs that suck and don't pay anything. I do want to highlight Spray and Lead. I have some news for you, Spray and Lead.
Like it. Oh, missed it. There we go. Somebody working on fixing the earning page. We've been asking for this for a long time.
Yes, we actually had a call and workshop and work session about this yesterday. So Milan and I were both there, along with our, lead platform / it's kind of like the head of product almost. We sat down and really troubleshooted because none of us knew this code base. The people who built it are gone from Salad. And we had to go do some digging. And I mean, Milan, you are probably the most up to date with it and what's going on. Do you want to share the state of things and what we've discovered? And well, not what we discovered, but the fixes that we're working towards.
Yeah. So we've identified a couple of things that had gone wrong, and we're going to be working on fixing them. Hopefully this is something we can do, I think, in maybe next week. We can have a release out for it. It's not going to be an app release, but as in we're going to push those changes out next week. But yeah, we've made some good progress in identifying the issues, and there are a couple of fixes. So now it's really about optimizing it and making sure that everything corresponds to what we're expecting. So yeah, soon to come.
We figured out something interesting, like I said, and we're going to use it. Our first big case study is going to be building a kitchen feature for the chefs with OpenClaw, OpenCode, and similar kinds of tools. If you're interested in that at all, like AI agents, AI assistants, Salad has a really strong use case in terms of making a more affordable way to get tons and tons of iterations and work out of different agents. So I don't know how many of you are on the bleeding edge of that or you're interested in it, but I thought you might like to check it out because this is going to be, I think it might be potentially a big moment for Salad because people are constantly talking about running into rate limits, running out of tokens, paying too much for tokens, hitting huge bills that They're like, oh my God, I had no idea my AI agent who ordered me pizza every day was going to charge me $500 at the end of the month, or whatever it is, right? And we can really reduce that thanks to you guys. And again, if we get a lot of pricing pressure, if we get a lot of people coming in wanting even individual GPUs, pricing pressure. If compared to $500 a month, a $30.90 or $40.99 on salad, you're probably not worried about having to pay low priority, medium priority, maybe even high priority, because it's still cheaper and still you get more. You're not token or rate limited, so you can just keep doing work pretty much infinitely, as much time as there is available in a day, right? So if you are interested in this stuff, and if you are also interested in seeing if you can't tell some people about salad to get more jobs, if you guys share this, I would appreciate it anywhere and any way, but no obligation, obviously. I just I think that all we need to do is get into the conversation as an option, and I think we might start seeing some really, really interesting things happening on salad, and a lot more of individuals coming to us to get machines versus businesses, which would also be cool, just to have like a popular movement. I believe, other than the fact that there are 200 4090 jobs available. Well, it's like 180 at this point or something. They do require pretty high bandwidth, and they are pretty picky for some reason, but nonetheless, that is available. There are openings on the network for 4090s. I covered that. I don't know if there's anything else